Hello there, welcome to World of Tanks with Ungainly Titan. We're here on Redshire, Team Destruction, and I'm in the M18 Hellcat. At this point I'm basically training up the crew in the M18, get them complete the current skill and then overtrain them so as to be able to move them on to the T25-2. And on this particular game I decided to try something slightly different. Normally in World of Tanks, when playing a fairly fragile tank destroyer like the Hellcat, you set up in any of the locations that I mark. If you feel really brave, you can set up in the last marked location. The problem with these locations, of course, is that they're pretty dependent on the team. They're very passive. The location near the start point there on the high ground, around the windmill or whatever, isn't a bad location in a normal map, particularly if you kind of half expect the heavy tank corner to fall. The problem with the location that I'm at the moment is that, of course, it's fairly aggressive in a normal game because the heavy tanks are coming along the blue line that I'm marking on the minimap right now. However, the main reason that I want to set up in this particular location is I want to be able to dominate the ridgeline in front of me. That ridgeline in front of me that I'm marking in is the prime location for enemy scouts, and I want to be able to see if I can spot them before they spot me or they affect the rest of the game. I've never really tried this location before as a scouting location, but I've had an opportunity again today, that is Tuesday, to try this location again. And I reckon it works, at least as an initial location. If you do get spotted, you kind of have to vacate it fairly promptly. And there's a very good chance that you'll spot it as soon as the enemy push past the river line in front of me, which they usually do in a standard battle. However, there's no sign of enemies coming or approaching the river line, or even the ridge opposite me at this point in time. At this point in time, the team is set up on a very defensive line along the southeastern side of the map. There's a few tanks probing in at central ridgeline, and there's a couple of tanks going along the river towards the west. Enemy tanks are starting to show up in force along the central ridgeline, so it looks like they just basically left the spawn area and just drove straight towards the central ridgeline. So we're taking our opportunities to shoot what we can at the moment. I'm kind of hoping that one of the medium tanks, or heavy tanks, actually goes forward from this position towards the ridgeline in front of me before I kind of commit to doing it. It would be much nicer to be certain that there are no enemy, stealthy enemy tanks lurking around that location. Because the central ridgeline can spot a fair amount into the valley below. Fortunately now the medium has gone off and it's not seeing anything. So I reckon it's worth taking the risk coming down this side of the hill and straight across. Once I'm in on the lee of this side of this ridge line, I'm safe enough from the guys in the central ridge. But I'm hoping to be able to poke up in the bushes here without being seen. But as soon as I cross the ridge line, I'm actually spotted. So I was probably spotted before I arrived at the bushes or from one of the flanking positions. However, in the absence of artillery, once I get down into the lee position again, I'm pretty safe. Now, I'm a bit concerned about that VK3601H, that he could push against the medium, overwhelm him, and start to kind of dislodge our position on this side, although he'd be taking fairly heavy fire from the ridge behind me. But I reckon it's worth doing some damage, soften him up a little bit, and give the medium a chance. And I was hoping that I'd be able to come over the top and actually get a second shot into him. However, again, as soon as I poke the ridgeline, I'm spotted again. But I'll take the pot a shot at the M4. Although the Stuart Mill actually behind is probably a better target, but I didn't spot him in time. Again, I was spotted again, so I moved, the sixth sense goes off, and then I stop and change direction and poke the ridgeline again. There is no shortage of targets, so the Nashorn is actually a good one. Don't quite finish him off. Came very close though, and we're spotted again. So back off. Get down low. Try and avoid taking unnecessary fire. Now there's two tanks at the gap on my right, so I've got to keep an eye on that. I have a nice line of bushes here, and that Skoda is probably completely not expecting anybody firing at him from this direction. And he backs up very promptly into or behind the rock and kind of stays there. I wasn't spotted that time firing, so the Nashorn has revealed himself again. I finish him off. So we'll have another look at the Skoda. He's changed direction. He's now firing the other side of the rock, but he's still sticking the back of his tank out. Not sure whether he realised he was doing that, or you know, it was just thought because he couldn't, his turret was hidden, that the rest of his tank was still hidden. So again, we weren't spotted, so I'm going to peek up here and see if I can get a line of sight on that heavy tank. Unfortunately, he's behind the ridge, and one of our own tank destroyers has been wiped out. But that Stuart Mill's out in the open, and I bounced the first shot because I think he was just turning. And I'm not detected, so I'm going to keep firing at him as long as the opportunity presents itself. He is heading for that building there, so can we get another shot into him? Doesn't look like it, so that's the end of that for the moment. So at the moment now we're well, it's still pretty even. However, I think we're in the stronger position. We have command of this ridgeline. We've got a couple of tanks pushing beyond, and that Stuart Mill is definitely not turning up. Let's see, can you see anything down there? Not quite close enough to get permanent contact with those two tanks, and I just blind fired there, but I don't think I hit anything. We're still pretty even in terms of damage, and we finish off the VK 3001 or 3601. Now there's a Tiger making a run here for the middle. I got detected there, so I want to break contact before I pop up and shoot at him. We'll get at least one shot, so we get a hit there, but I don't know if I'll get a second shot in before the reload. Now he's behind those buildings, so I don't have an angle on him. We've pulled ahead slightly on the damage score. The Tiger's moving into a pretty aggressive position, and he's going to come around. So that will give me an opportunity to get at least one more shot at him. But he has detected me, so I don't want to stay on the ridgeline, because there are possibility there's a couple of tank destroyers out there, so there still could be concealed tank destroyers on the ridgeline opposite me, or in other locations, and I'm not going to take the chances. The Tiger is probably still out there, and there's nobody down there to oppose him anymore. So I don't want to get in a close quarter knife fight with a Tiger. I prefer to keep my distance and shoot him, preferably when he can't see me. So we've managed to snap another one into the Tiger, and we're detected again, of course, so we have to break the contact and move on. Yeah, there's still a couple of tanks in the middle, and we just managed to detect. So there's the Hellcat, and we should be able to finish him off, so we do. And there's the T-3485. Now I'm willing to risk a shot from the T-3485 to guarantee the kill. As it turns out, I take the shot, but somebody else actually manages to get the kill. So now I'm looking for an opportunity to come around the back of the Tiger. However, as soon as I clear the building, I'm spotted by the Tiger, and I'm not in a position to engage, so I just keep driving. I want to get it back into cover, and then break contact and do the actual engagement on my own terms. Now, I back out here, but I fluff the shot because I don't wait for the tank to aim in completely. I was still detected and Sixth Sense had gone off. I also don't wait long enough here. I should have waited until Sixth Sense had completely gone The Tiger was able to anticipate my move out behind the bushes, and I lost the advantage there, so I actually paid for it quite severely. I'm still hidden now though, because the bushes are between me, and I'm spotting the Tiger, and other tanks are inflicting quite a lot of damage on him. So it turns out I don't need to finish off the Tiger at all. My allies have done the job for me. I drive away because I'm still detected, and I'm going to wait for 6 cents, and then I'll change direction again. I still suspect that there are tanks either here on the ridgeline or somewhere nearby, so I want to get into a hidden location on the ridgeline where I can come up. But as I approach here, 6 cents goes off, and there is an Ashhorn. We put a round into him and we keep driving because I have no idea where the 2 remaining tanks are, and I'm really hoping they're not on the ridge there near the enemy spawn location, which is what I suspected at this point in time. So I want to come up through bushes completely under cover and then wait for the camouflage netting and the binoculars to go off, so that I have some chance of spotting anything that will be around this half of the map. So the binoculars have gone off and I don't see anything. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're not there. The tank destroyer has been found, but the heavy tank could be anywhere, and near the spawn is as good a chance as any. It's become kind of a thing that is practically a joke at this point, that, you know, heavy tanks stay near their spawn locations. So I'm going to stay here. I've no hit points to be going around actively searching for anybody. We have 2 tanks moving along the J and K lines, and we have another tank heading west towards the 1 line. I still thought that he might be up there on the spawn line AFK, or maybe he never actually properly connected. However, it turns out he wasn't there. He's made it all the way to the southern side of the map, and he's been spotted by allied tanks. I might as well head in that direction. There's very little chance that I'll get a shot off, but you know, you never know. If you're not in, they say you can't win. So we drive down, we find a bush to come up behind. No need giving him a cheap kill. But he's behind the hill and I don't get a shot, and might as well keep driving, and he's dead before I even get down to the base of the hill that I'll run. So that's it. Decent enough game. Quite happy with this game. And even more happy when I saw the final results. So nearly 3.5k damage, high caliber, ace tanker. So yes, I was quite happy with that. I was very happy to get an ace tanker. So came first by experience. 1887 basic speed. It's not bad. It's relatively low, I think, compared to what it used to be for Hellcat, but still. Probably not as many people playing the Hellcat as they're used to. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you again soon.